All right, councilors, if I could get you all to take your seats, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience with us. Councils, do any of you have a motion? Okay, hearing none, then Mr. Randolph, if you will go ahead and call off the numbers of those particular jurors. And ladies and gentlemen, if your number's called, take all your stuff that you brought with you, come on and have a seat in the jury box in no particular order. There's going to be a couple of you are going to need to probably sit in the chairs that are, the black chairs that are in front, but other than that, just come on over, okay? All right, Mr. Randolph, you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Number 39. Gather your things. Number 56. Number 71. Number 98. Number 179. Number 187. Number 204. Number 213. Number 219. Number 225. Number 243. Number 269. Number 290. Number 336. Number 387. Number 409. Number 449. Number 508. All right, go ahead.
All right, councils, is this your jury?
Yes, Your Honor, this is our jury.
All right. Anybody else? Can I ask counsel, you should firmly indicate if this is your jury and who you represent, please? Mr. Matthews. Mr. Botts. Mr. Partridge. I didn't call you yet. Mr. Partridge. Okay. All right. Now, Mr. Shart.
This is still on earlier motions.
All right. Okay. But is this your jury?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Mr. Harvey?
It is, Judge.
Thank you, sir. All right. Ms. E. Williams. All right, Ms. Hingerty? Anybody else I miss? Anybody else? Okay, all right, thank you. Councils, how would you like me to account for 219? Since you did select 219 as part of your jury?
Your Honor, I can leave that within the court's discretion. He can either come back to be sworn today, or the court can call him in on Friday and have him sworn then. I will leave that in the court's discretion.
Okay, I placed a phone call already to see if we can potentially get him back here today to have him sworn in. So I will update you all accordingly at that point in time. Is there any objection to me swearing in the jury, swearing in the members that we have thus far?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Not that Ms. Green, except for what Mr. Shaw said to his motion to adopt.
In terms of the persons that were excluded?
Exactly.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I'll make that part of the record already. All right. Can I have that piece of paper? The one that has their charges on it? The one that you gave to the lawyers? That has a charge. Okay, all right.
Mr. Steele, have all the attorneys had a chance to review the vote form? State has not had a chance.
I'll let the state look at it. That's 505, Mr. Randolph. Come on, man. Come on now. Don't do that to me.
What is that? You did.
She good? She good? State, have you had the opportunity to review this? This is just so I can give the right charges to the right defendant. So have y'all had a chance to take a look at it?
We did.
Okay, all right, so I want to make sure. Okay, ladies and gentlemen who were not selected, and for those of you that were selected, thank you so much for I said this to you when you all came in months and months ago, and the times you have come in so far to spend time with us. Thank you for your patience and your continued patience that you have otherwise given us. For those of you that were not selected, I'm going to release you at this point in time with our gratitude and thanks, and ask that you're still subject to your admonitions at this point in time until our trial is over with, but know this, that we appreciate your patience and we appreciate your attendance. So at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to release you, those in the gallery, okay? Just make sure you give your numbers to our staff, please. Thank you very much. At this time, I'm going to swear you in. So I've got a little bit of reading to do at this point, so bear with me, okay? All right. If I could get you to raise your right hands for me, please, those who are able. Members of the jury, you shall well and truly try the issue formed upon this bill of indictment between the state of Georgia and Durante Beebe, who is charged with conspiracy to violate Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act, theft by taking stolen property, violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, participation in criminal street gang activity, armed robbery, and hijacking of a motor vehicle in the first degree. The state of Georgia and Marquavius Huey, who is charged with conspiracy to violate Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act, armed robbery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, armed robbery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, hijacking a motor vehicle in the first degree, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, participation in criminal street gang activity, participation in criminal street gang activity, participation in criminal street gang activity, possession of a weapon by an incarcerated individual, possession of a telecommunication device by an incarcerated individual, participation in criminal street gang activity. State of Georgia and DeMonte Kendrick, who is charged with conspiracy to violate Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act, murder, participation in criminal street gang activity, violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of a firearm in the commission of a felony, possession of a machine gun, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon previously convicted of a felony involving the use or possession of a firearm. State of Georgia and Quamarius Nichols, who's charged with conspiracy to violate Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act, murder, participation in criminal street gang activity, participation in criminal street gang activity, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, previously convicted of a felony involving the use and possession of a firearm, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon previously convicted of a felony involving the use or possession of a firearm. State of Georgia and Rodeus Ryan, who's charged with conspiracy to violate Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act. State of Georgia and Shannon Stillwell, who's charged with conspiracy to violate Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act, murder, participation in criminal street gang activity, participation in criminal street gang activity, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon previously convicted of a felony involving the use or possession of a firearm, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon previously convicted of felony involving the use or possession of a firearm. State of Georgia and Jeffrey Williams, who is charged with conspiracy to violate Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act, participation in criminal street gang activity, participation in criminal street gang activity, violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and possession of a machine gun. And a true verdict give according to the evidence, so help you God or so affirm. Say yes. Please say yes if you accept this oath.
Yes.
All right. Put your hands down. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.